Hey guys, welcome back. So today I want to answer one of the most common questions I get on the YouTube channel. That question is, what would I recommend for an AR-15 that's in the $1,000 price range? And that's a simple question for me to answer. For me, it would be the Colt 6920, actually the LE6920. This rifle is pretty much a faithful copy of the Colt M4, which is the U.S. military service rifle that the U.S. Army uses. Let's take a closer look at this rifle. There are a few reasons why I think that the Colt 6920 is the best buy on the market right now. First of all, Colt has been manufacturing the M16 longer than any other company in the U.S. history. They've been manufacturing the M16 since the 1960s in the Vietnam era, and they continue to manufacture the M4 for the U.S. military, the U.S. Army, until the present day. Now, Colt has produced more AR-15s and M16s than any other company. So they have a history of working with the government and setting what we call mil-spec, or the military standards, by which the rifle is manufactured. And that's very key when you're talking about an AR-15. Colt has special testing processes, special materials that are used in the manufacturing and stuff that they've worked with the government to develop. Now, other companies can copy and do copy those standards and meet those military specifications, and perhaps some companies exceed them. But the 6920 is the same thing as the M4 rifle the U.S. Army uses. So if you want an M4gery, as they're popularly called on the internet, the Colt 6920 is about as close as you're going to get, and it's going to meet all military specifications. Now, the 6920 comes in two different models. Now, this is an LE6920, and Colt has discontinued this rifle, but you can still pick them up, and they're around the same price. I paid $950 for this one. Now, Cheaper Than Dirt sells the SP6920, which is the cousin to this rifle, which is really the same rifle, it just has different markings on it. This one has law enforcement markings, that's why they call it the LE6920. And those law enforcement markings basically say that's for law enforcement and military personnel only. Those markings came about in the 1990s during the Clinton administration and the crime bill passage. These rifles weren't for sale to the general public back then. Only the military and law enforcement could buy them. Those days have passed. In 2004, that law sunset, and so these rifles started to go away. Colt did reintroduce them, but they've taken them off the market again. And it's basically, again, just the markings that separate it from the SP6920. Both rifles internally are the same rifle. Let's take a look inside of the rifle. Let's talk about some of the features of the 6920. Now, first of all, the lower receiver assembly has a polymer 4-position collapsible stock. It also has a standard semi-automatic AR-15 trigger assembly inside of it. Any trigger that you buy, like an add-on trigger, third-party trigger, will fit inside this Colt receiver. The rifle also has M4 standard handguards, which have the double heat shielding in the handguards. Not all AR-15s in the M4 configuration will come this way. The upper receiver has a removable carrying handle that has your A2 sights, has a forward assist, and a shell deflector, and of course, a dust cover over the ejection port. Now, the bolt and carrier are critical parts when you're talking about military specification. First of all, on top of the carrier, you have a gas key. You'll notice the two bolts that hold the gas key to the carrier are staked. That's so those bolts don't back out. Not all AR-15s have that done. Now, the type of steel used, carpenter steel used in the manufacturing of the bolt is also important, and you'll notice that it has an MPC marking on it. Each bolt that Colt manufactures, they test to make sure the integrity of the steel is solid. There's no micro fissures or anything like that within the steel. The steel is rock solid. And again, that's a mil-spec standard, and it's very important when you're talking about an AR-15 because bolts do crack. So if you're in the market for a top-tier AR-15, one that isn't going to break the bank, you're going to be hard-pressed to beat the 6920. Colt is a top-tier AR-15 manufacturer. Now, certainly there are other companies in the mix right now that make top-tier AR-15s. Companies such as BCM, Daniels Defense, Knights Armament, LMT. There's too many to list in this video, and I'd probably forget a few. But they're all going to cost more than the 6920 is right now, and this is the standard by which all other AR-15s are measured. If you guys have any questions about this AR-15, feel free to swing by our Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com www.militaryarms.com/military arms. You can also find us on our online discussion forum at www.militaryarmschannel.com. As always, everybody, thanks for watching, thanks for those subscriptions, and I'll talk to you guys soon.